So I've been finding amazing things at car boot sales this year, and this week was exactly the same. I got some of the best things I found in a long time, probably ever, including one of the best glass paperweights I've ever got in the wild. I've got different wood carvings from every corner of the globe. I can't wait to show you them, and I even struck gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I bought and tell you how much I think it's worth. Okay, so if you haven't been to the channel before, quick introduction. My name is Kieran Hughes Jones. I'm an antique dealer. I'm based in South Wales. I'm on taliesinantique.com. I'll put that on the screen. There'll be a link in the description if you want to see my website. Now, I'm going to get straight into it. I've got a lot of different items to show you, so let's not mess around. I'm going to try and be a bit quick fire on this one. So bear with me, I hope it works. Now, this is the beautiful paperweight I was talking about. I absolutely love this. Look at the complex design there. It's an absolute beauty. I'm going to show you the bottom because if you know your paperweights, that's important. Now this is a Murano paperweight, so made in Venice, Italy. In terms of date, it's probably going to be the mid 20th century. Now, of course, you know, if you know your glass, Murano is the place to know in terms of glass making. This type of style of paperweight was made there. So it's known as a complex design. There's just so much going on, different shapes, different all sorts happening. And then the bottom is the Murano bottom, polished, you know, completely polished. This is an absolute beauty. Now it's made by either Avem or it's a Toso paperweight. Very high quality. This didn't come in cheap in terms of from car boot terms. I mean, it was really. It was a tenner, this one. You know, the dealer knew it was something good. They just hadn't properly identified it. Now I see this as at least £75 paperweight. It's an absolute beauty. One of the best things I've found in a long time. Just absolutely love that. You know, it's not always about, you know, I'm going to make good money on that one, but it's not always about the profit. Sometimes you just love finding something like that. That was at the bottom of a box. I dived in and found it before anyone else saw it. That's what car booting is all about. Now the next paperweight is just a bit of just a bit of advertising, or it was made for a conference or something like that. As you can see, it says Royal Mail in there. A few different companies have it, but this is like an iconic brand. I think this cost me about £5 to £10 as well. I'd have to check. Probably a bit much because I imagine it's going to be a £20 to £30 paperweight. But just a nice little cool thing. You know, there's no point leaving something like that, you know, if it's a price like that. Nice piece. We're next going to go on to some really nice glass perfume bottles. I'm going to show both of them at the same time because they both came from the same dealer. So yeah, these are dealers these came from, not the general public. Be careful. And look at them. Really nicely made. I'll come on to each one. I'm going to come on to this one first of all. Let me put this one down carefully. So look at the design there. Now this has got a sticker on the bottom which will tell you exactly who it's by. That one. There we go. It's Isle of Wight glass. Now anyone who knows about Isle of Wight glass will know this is a really desirable maker. There's the original stopper. Oh, there's a price tag there. Well, just a price tag. Someone was asking for £48. The dealer didn't ask me for £48, they asked for a tenner each. So yeah, that's a really beautifully made glass perfume bottle. Isle of Wight glass is very popular. A lot of the items I'm talking about today, I haven't had a lot of chance to do a lot of research. Been very busy this week, but I wanted to get the video up. I believe this to be around £75, possibly could go into three figures. Isle of Wight glass is very popular, and this is a very nice example of one. Now I bought the other one thinking, well, this is probably Isle of Wight glass as well. Again, original stopper, even more delicate that one. You can probably see the mark on the bottom. Now I wonder how many people spotted who this is by. I've now worked it out. I'm just going to see. Yeah, the marking does say something, but I'm going to need to get into eyeglass. But I have now worked out this is a Guernsey Channel Island glass paperweight. Not as valuable as Isle of Wight at all. This costs the same price as that one. That was a much better deal, the Isle of Wight. This one is probably around a £30 paperweight. It's funny, if you look at them individually, you know, they both are good quality ones and nice colours. And for someone who didn't know, you just ask them to pick which one they prefer. I reckon 50% of people would go for this one. But because of the name, and that's what's important, because of the name, that's what sold it. And guess the prices. So this is going to be about £30. That one's going to be over double that. So, and even though it's smaller. So there we go. Some beautiful glass I found this week. We're going to go straight in now to some walking sticks. I got 3. I was really happy with these. I think these came in at approximately a tenner each. Sorry, that's a terrible view, but there's the 3 tops of them. We'll go for each one. There's the first one. Lovely bird carving with the eyes as well. And if I just go up, there you go, it's got the rubber sole bottom. These can be vintage paper, walking sticks. They are what, as you see them, the beak, maybe a little bit off the beak on that one. I'll come on to the other bird one, then we'll have a look at this lacquered one. So look, that's probably the best one, I thought. And then we go, very rustic sort of make. That's a beautifully carved one there. These are all safe money. You know, they're going to be £30 each at least. This one probably the most, followed by the other bird one. Yeah, it's a little nibble on the beak on that one I've just spotted, but nothing noticeable or problematic. I've got to try and get him to stand up. This one was interesting though. This is a lacquered one, and you've got like this Japanese theme. Could well be Japanese, and you've got a brass bottom. So that's a really nice one actually. So yeah, good 3 vintage walking sticks. People collect them. I've got to say, I've got loads of walking sticks that I've just picked up over the years, and for some reason they've just never gone up for sale. I just want to just do a big load of them in one go at some point. If you like your walking sticks, canes, I'm your man, get in touch. Okay, next I got this awesome enamel sign. This is, I believe it's Polish. You know, as you can see, it's the kind of warning, electronic fence warning or something like that. I haven't actually even got around to translating this. I don't know if you guys remember or saw my last video where I had a welcome, or one of my last videos, I had a welcome Dutch enamel sign. That sold instantly. That was a really good deal. I like this one. What was the deal? I bought this with a couple of other things from the gentleman. So this probably cost me about 30 to 40 quid as part of that deal. The money saved is going to be about 75 to 100 pounds, I would have thought. But a nice enamel sign. There we go. If I can find them and get a good deal on them, I love stuff like that. The next thing I'm going to show you is this vintage piece. It's this lovely globe. Now, of course, this is an antique. This is at best 20 to 30 years old. Now, these are really, really desirable. These types of globes, you do see them. I had last year. I got a job lot of them in a deal at a car boot sale, and they've all sold for really good money. Now, this one here, being on a brass stand, you know, green. It's like gemstone, mother pearl rather, is used as part of the decoration. This one will sell for about 150 quid. It cost me 20, so it will sell for that. I'm pretty confident that it may even achieve more. I might even pay it for more because I just know how popular these are. So look, even though I'm an antique dealer, when you know I'm in the decorative game as well. If something has decorative value, and just going to look good in someone's house, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to sell it. So there we go, another good piece. So now I'm going to show you this interesting collection of different wood carvings I've had from across the world. Now these have all come from different buyers, sellers rather. Start with this one. Now something like this I'm always going to pick up. It's a beautiful bird carving. You see it's like a bowl. Look at that. Like a hornbill of some description. Now, I've looked this up, and I believe, when I bought it, I was thinking, of course, could be some sort of African bowl. It turns out this one is actually, I believe, from Borneo. So we're looking at, you know, South Asia. Very interesting thing. More research required on value of that. But I'll tell you what, I love finding things from that part of the world. Sorry, not just that part of the world. I love finding things from all over the world. You know, they really speak to the different culture, or the culture where it came from. So it's a very interesting item. And yeah, look forward to looking into that more. Here we go, that's the first one. I'll tell you, it's from all over the world, these are. We've got this, must be some sort of Buddha. It's interesting about this one, it's got a carving, it's got a compartment to the back that comes out, slots out. Just see if it smells of any particular wood. Didn't catch anything. So yeah, this is going to be, you know, possibly Chinese, if not that sort of Far East region, and a representation of the Laughing Buddha. So that's an interesting one. The value on the last two things, I don't know for sure. I expect it going to be £30 up. You know, if I do research and they're particularly unusual and rare, then that's a different story. But as I said, I haven't had much of a chance this week. Now, I don't really know where this has come from. I've got to do some work on this one. As you can see, it's a carving of a lion. I find it quite naive. I don't know about what you guys think. But then on the back, it is highly detailed with the tail as well. If you just look at the... see if I can get anything from the face at all. Yeah, this is a interesting little thing. You know, I can't see any evidence it's come off anything. Sometimes you get these type of carvings that have come off a piece of furniture, European furniture. But look, it looks old to me. More research, but I wasn't not going to show you. There we go, that could be what, European? Could be from anywhere, that one, to be honest. Could be African. Now these, I believe, are, I was going to say Native American, but now I'm starting to wonder if they are South Asian as well, actually. Big bookends, really heavy wood. Look at the carved detail in them. Someone has spent a lot of time. Now, of course, yes, they are made for a tourist trade. There's no getting away from that. But I mean, that matters. Look how good they are. And the level of detail, big, impressive wood carvings. Again, just telling the story. Is he playing like an instrument? And then obviously breastfeeding there. Amazing pieces of wood carvings there. So there we go. And I'm going to show you the final one from this little section. It might be my favourite one. Look at that. Look at the carving in that tiger. You know, snarling face with two cubs. Just amazingly well detailed. Very heavy hardwood, this one. I believe this one is Japanese. It just gives me that Japanese kind of look. It's almost like an imitation of one of the bronzes from Japan. But it's Oriental. You know, I will see if I can find more detail, but I think it's Japanese. That's going to be at least 75 quid. At least. Amazing thing. So there we are, another nice little selection. I've got a group of ceramics to show you now, and I find what's interesting about these is that it's not the names that sell these, it's the look. And a lot of you will know, if you're in the antiques world, that there is a growing, what's the word? There's a growing kind of trend, I suppose, where people really like these kind of vintage looking French, European, kind of like earthenware, clay terracotta style look, I suppose. I've got a few pieces that reflect that. So this one's the first one. Look at that. I didn't tell you what, I didn't even notice that bit of glaze there. That really shows you how naive it is made. It's a big, I believe it's a mixing bowl. The lady brought it back from Holland, a recent trip to Holland. I think it's French. It's got glaze on the inside, which, if you know your different clays, that is to make sure you can retain water while it's being glazed on the inside. I believe, you know, someone's added these. You know, these have been added much later. This is going to be quite vintage, though. This is, you know, when I say vintage, maybe not 100 years old, but certainly, you know, 50, 60, 70 years old. Really naively made. There is a small, I think that's a fireman floor, you know, actually, and it's just cracked. It's got a bit of chip in there, here and there. This is a used item, and look how good that looks. That's going to have some value in terms of three figures, I believe. Now, staying on that theme, I've got a couple of pots here which are similar. These are from a different person again. I've got two of these, not exactly the same. lidded terracotta pots. The people I bought this from said they believe it might be from Brazil. I mean, I don't know about that. It could be a number of different places. It's got this like metal plating over it, which is, yeah, it's just been added on. Not, I suppose, in a kind of crude way. But look at the aging on that. You know, these are great looking things. They really meet that market that's gaining in popularity. I'll have to cut to this, and it's just another lidded clay ball as well. So a pair of them, not a matching pair, but certainly made by the same maker, and just very interesting. Utilitarian, I suppose. These were made for use, not for decorative value, but now they have decorative value because there are people who like that look. And a couple more. Again, same lady who I bought the mixing bowl off, bought these along at one of the boot sales. Again, terracotta, but this time with a crackle turquoise blue glaze. I got no idea who's made that or where it's come from. It's European, but I believe there's a firing crack in it, but there's no after the firing damage I can see. Maybe a little bit of glaze loss, but just so crude. This has got a mark on it, which I haven't deciphered yet. So you've got this like olive green, as you can see, it's kind of an olive green. That's like a sticker residue that'll come off, so you can see then. Olive green, ribbon around it. Let me just see if I can make out this mark. I believe it's Dutch, this one, but I'll have to look up the mark. But yeah, nice pieces. So get these for the camera. Look at them, just really nice. This is heavy, by the way, really heavy. The nice vintage ceramics there, just have the look. Now in terms of value, I don't know. I gotta say I don't know. The clay pots again. I believe the mixing bowl is going to be 3 figures. The clay pots might get there as well. Together, these are going to be 30-40 quid each, I believe. Depends on the mark on that one, but that one is so unique and unusual. I think that's. You guys tell me if you would like that look. I do. There we go. We'll look at some more stuff. I'm going to keep the global theme going, and that's what you get with me. It's a lot of global antiques that I go for, or vintage items. And here's the next one. So this is they're known as stools, sometimes headrests. I think this is more of a headrest, probably West African, this one. I haven't found exactly who it was made by in terms of which people. I believe a lot of these are made by the Ashanti people who now would live in mainly Ghana. But look at the carved detail. This is a really nicely decorated one. It was a beautiful find. Yeah, and I think this came in for a tenner. And here we go. Here's the next one. Boom. Now some people will look at thinking, what on earth is going on there? So it's a really nicely decorated mask, right? So as you can see, well painted, beautifully detailed. Now it's Balinese, so Indonesia, theatre mask, and this one has the extra detail of this hair that's added to the back, and that's going to be, horse's hair or something like that that's been added. And this has been made to be used, in a performance in some way. It's a really interesting item. Again, it's not for everyone. But look, again, I haven't had a chance to look at the prices, but I've sold these in the past. One as good as this one should be upwards of £40, possibly more. So yeah, a nice, interesting find, and just adds to that eclectic mix of items that I've got this week. Going to finish off now with some smaller, more delicate pieces. We're going to start with this one here. So this is a nicely made snuff bottle. As you can see there, it is carved detail. Now the thing about this is Cinnabar lacquer, which is a type of resin. This is resin, there's no other way of putting it. Now, I try my best to avoid buying resin as much as possible. I will make an exception on these Cinnabar pieces. This is Chinese, by the way. Finely carved. It's not going to be particularly old, but it is collectible, and it's going to be worth upwards of £30. and you know, it comes in at a good price. So again, I don't normally buy resin, but a nice little snuff bottle like that, I don't mind. And the final pair of things I'm going to show you, and I've actually struck gold. Now one of these is gold, one of these is rolled gold or gold plated. I wonder if you can work out which. Now I am not someone who usually deals in gold. I'm only just learning my way to try and find this stuff, and I took a chance. It turned out actually I had an opportunity to get a lot more jewellery, but I just don't know my way around jewellery just yet. But this is good for me because this is the first time I found it out in the wild and bought it well. So this is the rolled gold one, so it means gold plated. It is marked somewhere, but I think it does confirm it to be gold plated, and it's a cameo. So this is a shell that's been carved. I believe this one is as well. Now my understanding is, again, this is Edward from Antiques Areno's educated me on this one. That's probably worth about £20 to £25. Now this is the better find. This is 9 carat gold, and then again a shell carved cameo, beautifully done, and this is marked 9 carat, and as a result that's going to be worth at least £95. Beautiful little find in a jewellery box. There we go, I found my first piece of gold. Maybe that'll be the start of getting more and more. I hope so anyway. Well, there we go, thank you for watching. That was a bit quick fire. As I say, it's been a really busy weekend. I've had a lot going on, so I haven't had much of a chance to kind of deal with a lot of stuff I've been buying. So I wanted to put a video out just to give you a good idea of the items I've been picking up, because I have still been going to the boot sales. And yeah, if anyone is a regular watcher can just see some interesting things. I'm hoping to get a lot of this sorted, available on the website now over the next week or so, and I'll keep making more videos with the interesting things I find and other topics that I think are worth touching on. So if you have watched up till now and you found it interesting in any way, I would appreciate if you do a few things for me, all free to do. You can click the like button, which is the thumbs up. You can click the subscribe button, which subscribes you to the channel, meaning you just get notifications when I make new videos, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the different items you saw. Was there anything in particular that you loved and found really interesting, really liked? I'm thinking, I'm looking around now, I'm trying to have a think what my favourite was. Ooh, lots of good things this week, like interesting, unique pieces. I'm going to go with, not just because it's closest, but this beautiful wood carving of the tiger and the 2 cubs. I just think that's an absolute stunning piece, hard wood, nice and heavy. Why wouldn't you want that up on a shelf somewhere? There we go. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. If you have the chance, also visit my website, taliesinantiques.com. Hundreds and hundreds of items to have a look through. And I will see you again next time. Thanks again. All the best. Bye bye now.